As I just said, my name is John Chow. Pride Pledge class, which was 2006, 2007. I remember I would tell my pledge sisters from like Sigma Berkeley, like, oh yeah, we're 2005, 2006, and then that didn't turn out too well. Anyways, so I'm also a Bruin class of 2010, so I graduated roughly 2 years ago as well. I was formerly a computer science major. Is anybody computer science here? Sweet, do Omegas. What I'm going to talk about is how I got into Omegas, and ultimately how Omegas affects my life even today. So I pledged my second year. My first year was pretty boring. Didn't really do anything exciting. Struggled a bit with computer science in school, so I wasn't doing hot with school either. Definitely not doing well with the ladies. But I decided to do Omegas my second year. I wanted to do a change. And at first I thought, you know, it's just going to be about parties. It was just going to be about girls, and friendships would be a good consequence out of all of that. That clearly was not the case. The one thing that I look back on about the fraternity wasn't necessarily the good times. It was actually a lot of the bad times. It was the times when I had to help organize Rush, when I had to help organize club parties, making sure that we had the logistics down, we had the people down. That I organized the bus rides for club parties, so you can imagine cramming 500 people in 4 school buses and collecting all the money and making sure everything was going smoothly. As you can imagine, it was tough work. And so the things that I went through for Omegas wasn't, you know, I look back on, yeah, there were a lot of great times. I love my pledge bros. I still keep in touch with my pledge bros all the time. But it was through the hard work. And on top of that, it was also the people that I met through Omegas. Some examples of good Omegas, clearly not the ones walking through the door.
Yeah, yo, I was already inside.
But some of the people that I met immediately, so the first person I want to talk about is John Ha. He's Kamikaze. He's a class 2 years above me. You know how like they say that, I'm sure one of your fears is, well, Omegas is going to take a lot of time out of school. John Ha was a pre-med major. He was also social chair. He was on cabinet for his entire time as Omegas. And he still got a 3.5 GPA, got into med school. One of the hardest working, honorable guys I've ever met. My big bro, Charles Jude, he founded a company several years ago called Playmesh. And now he's on his second company called Penny Pop, and I was fortunate enough to work under him. And on top of that, there was Peter Ng, who is my president from the visionary class. He's currently working at Google as a designer for the Android platform. My pledge mom, Will Chang, he's currently head of product in a Beijing startup called Landau. Di Duan, who you meet back there, he's currently going to the UCLA MBA program. And these are just a handful of people that I've mentioned. And, the very unique thing about this fraternity, and the reason why I'm back here today, is because of the core values that we present. I'm sure you've heard this before: brotherhood, class, confidence, excellence, diversity. Those are the core values that we always talk about as a fraternity. And the thing is, those are the kind of things that we live and die by. And to this very day, I still do like 60 push-ups, 3 sets every other day. I run 2 miles every other day. I actually read every day for an hour, because I'm an engineer, right? I always have to keep up with the latest news. So I'm always reading a book about programming, about, I'm actually very into entrepreneurship as well, so I read books on that as well. You know, I work hard. I'm a workaholic. I work, you know, sometimes 6-7 days a week. I usually work 10 to 12 hours every day. Love my job as a software engineer. You know, and these are the things that I only started doing because of Omegas. And, you know, there's no clear, I'm not telling you that you're going to be successful if you join Omegas. And I'm not saying that you're going to meet you're not going to meet the next president just because, like the president of America. Not the president of Omegas, clearly he's right here. You're not going to meet, I'm not saying you're guaranteed to meet that, but this is an opportunity. And in my honest opinion, you know, this fraternity is in many, many ways better than the other organizations you heard about. You know, for example, like the business fraternities, the professional fraternities, and so forth, because those, they kind of teach you about professions, how to handle yourself, but life isn't about work. Life is about how you present yourself, how you go about with your ways. You know, with Omegas, there's not only do you have to perform as a cabinet member, but you have to have a good name. Omegas is a reputable organization, and when you do something wrong, it reflects totally on this organization. And because you work with other people, that requires teamwork, communication, right? And you can't be awkward in the working world, right? In fact, as an engineer, this is a very good example. So, I was actually recently started working for another Omega. He's currently VP of product in my current company called Fundly. And you know, I was able to. I honestly only got that job not because I'm the smartest engineer in the world, and not because I'm just an Omega, but because I'm able to take initiative, to communicate effectively, and to get things done. And ultimately, you know, that's what I got out of Omegas. And Omegas will put you in very, very tough situations. And, you know, I'm not here today, I'm not in my current job because of my good GPA. I actually had 2.5, it was pretty bad as an engineer. I had no work experience, no internship, I was a 5th year. But I've consistently landed the jobs that I've wanted. In fact, I actually had a Groupon offer before this job. And I turned it down because, you know, because I wanted to pursue other things. But the point I'm trying to get to is that it's not about what you can do, but it's about the journey that you're willing to take. And if you want to take the easy road, if you're the type of person that just wants to lay back, you know, sleep through Saturday, eat cereal, and watch cartoons in the morning, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's where you find happiness, then that's perfectly fine. But if you want to do something extraordinary with your life, not just today, but tomorrow, and for the next 5 years, and for the next 10 years, then this is something that you should highly consider. Because this isn't just about parties, and this isn't about, you know, meeting people. This is about what you want to do. What core values do you live by? And if you don't like what you have, or you want to improve yourself, do Omegas. All right? That's pretty much it. Thank you.